So this has to be one of the most random and most unexpected signings I think I've ever seen. Because Marc Cucurella is now a Real Madrid player, there's a here we go on him, and the deal is 50 million euros plus 5 million add-ons. And that is a really good deal because his market value is 50 million. Matter of fact, I think this was such a good signing. Now the thing is, I've known about Marc Cucurella since he was a youngster when he was at La Masia. He was one of the Barcelona youngsters that shined and everyone was talking about him between Real Madrid and Barcelona fans. And then we fast forward, he goes to Brighton, and at Brighton he performed quite good, and he performed so good that Chelsea signed him for a good amount of money. And then when he signed for Chelsea, that's when his career kind of took off. That is when he started playing for Spain, was performing for Spain, and even though there was a lot of competition for the left back position in Spain, he still became the main left back for Spain. He is De La Fuente's favorite left back when it comes to Spain, and if you are De La Fuente's main choice, then you are no doubt a very good player. Now the thing about him that I find so funny is whenever I have watched him play, I always thought this is kind of a very average player because he just does usual things, and then he dives, he falls on the ground, he over exaggerates. That has always been my image of him and my perception of him. However, there is more to him than just that. He is actually a way better player than most people think he is. He's intelligent in the game, he listens to his coach, he is good at pressing. And this is why José Mourinho wants him, because he has a player now that is tactically intelligent, will listen to his coach, won't do his own thing, and presses hard. And ever since José Mourinho came in, the main reports have been José Mourinho is looking for hungry players. He's not necessarily looking for new up-and-coming young talents. He's not looking for any super expensive player. He is looking for hungry players that will run for full 90 minutes and listen to him. Because that's kind of an issue in Real Madrid. They don't have many players that have a good mentality. Most of these players were signed for big amounts of money or were signed for free agents. And then they were given a super high salary. And now we are trophyless for 2 seasons in a row. Now Marc Cucurella, I think he changes us in many ways. First of all, his pressing, as I mentioned. He's very good defensively. He pressurizes the attackers, and as I even put on the thumbnail, he is the Yamal stopper. Now, do I think he is this physical left back that's gonna stop Yamal on his own? I don't think so. I think he does still need help there in the left back position against Yamal, Olise, wingers like that. Unfortunately, you need to put 2 players there to defend against him. But I mean, in this Chelsea against Barcelona match, he locked down Yamal. Yes, he did have help many times. Just the fact that he locked him down and had an insane performance, assisted a goal even in that match. He is a good player and he's quite underrated. He's like a player that has a good mentality, a fighter mentality. He reads the game well and he fights for the team, he plays for the badge. And that is, as I said, a player that Mourinho wants. And all he does is work rate. Just work rate, and more work rate. He will run for a full 90 minutes. And he pocketed Yamal, completely kept him quiet in that match. But that's not it. He also pocketed Estevao, who's from Chelsea. But this was before Estevao joined up with the club. This is when Estevao was still at Palmeiras in the Club World Cup. Just about a month before he actually joined Chelsea. And Cucurella basically took him to school. Cucurella was playing very aggressively with him and even trash talking him in the match. And I remember this was kind of a hot topic at the time. He treated Estevao like he's an enemy. He treated him like he's not gonna be his teammate in the next month. But either way, I think another thing that is quite underrated about him is his headed clearances. Even though he's not the tallest player of all time, he's not like Carrera's size, where he's a left back that can even play centre back. Cucurella is quite short, but he's still good in aerial duels, and he still hits the ball out quite nice. And he's a player that I think, if he's given a good system, if he plays under a great system, under a great coach, he will perform. Now, is José Mourinho that type of coach? We don't know. I personally don't know. But if Mourinho is, I think we're gonna see the best version of Cucurella. If Mourinho isn't, then I don't think we're gonna necessarily see the best of Cucurella. Now, a few things that I've noticed in his game is he's overly aggressive, kind of a foul merchant, and he doesn't necessarily win balls off cleanly of the players. He uses his aggression a lot and he gets carded a lot during matches. I remember during the Euro 2024, he was picking up yellow cards quite a lot, or at least from the matches that I watched. But he was fouling a lot and he was diving also a lot, overreacting at times. And in the Euro 2024, he became quite a hated player. The rival fans, or even in general people who didn't like that Spain won the Euro, they didn't like Cucurella because of the stuff he even said after the match. and the song that he was singing, and in no way did I think back then that this guy would even be playing in Real Madrid. So how does he fit in Real Madrid? He is going to be our starting left back, at least from the start of the season. When José Mourinho comes in, Cucurella is going to be his main starter. Maybe Carreras will compete with him and eventually become a starter over him. But when the season begins, Cucurella is going to be the main left back. How does he compare against Mendy, Fran Garcia, Carreras? I think it's going to be interesting. The reason why they even signed a left back, even though they signed Carreras, is that Arbeloa said some bad things about Carreras' attitude, and therefore José Mourinho said he wants a new left back because we have 3 left backs. We didn't need to sign a 4th one because now Fran Garcia has to leave, Mendy has to leave. I don't think Carreras is going to leave. The 2 left backs we are going to have in the final squad are going to be Carreras and Cucurella. But when it comes to a player like Yamal, who's going to perform better against him? If I have to choose between Cucurella and Carreras, I will choose Carreras because he showed it in our Clásico. He showed it live in action for all to see against Yamal, locked him down. Because he's a physical beast, he's younger than Cucurella, and I think he's our future left back. However, his stocks went down massively when he went up against Olise. And I don't know how he just beat Carreras like that, but he completely changed the trajectory of Carreras' career after that performance. So now Real Madrid have made 4 signings, and 3 of those signings have been Premier League players. Now I've been seeing some criticism on the internet. Some people have been saying they're signing too many Premier League players. And people and some Madridistas are traumatized by Premier League players, such as Eden Hazard. Hazard was signed for an insane fee and he underperformed. But I wouldn't say every Premier League player is like that, because Rudiger has been quite good, Gareth Bale was quite good, Luka Modric was quite good. I can't really remember all the Premier League players they signed, but what I'll say is Bernardo Silva, even though he's 31, still quality. Cucurella is 28. Still kind of in his prime, I would say. Or maybe he's in his prime right now. Konate, I think he's one of the worst Premier League players they signed. But I could be proven wrong. And I mean, like, we've been looking for a Spanish player to represent Real Madrid in Spain for this World Cup, and no one was selected from the Real Madrid squad. Well, now, if Real Madrid announced the signing during the World Cup or before the World Cup, then Cucurella is representing Real Madrid. But right now, I don't think Real Madrid's transfer strategy is predictable at all. They complete signings so quickly and so easily. They signed Konate in like 24 hours. They signed Dumfries in 24 hours. They signed Bernardo Silva in 24 hours. Cucurella, we don't even know how long it took. But we heard nothing of Cucurella before. Maybe some reports, but never something concrete. They completed this deal, and even Fabrizio Romano kind of had no clue. He didn't even give a hint about it. So as things stand now, Real Madrid could sign Enzo Fernandez out of the blue. They can sign Olise out of the blue, and we don't even know. But either way, tell me your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, smash like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Peace out.